chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sweet Annie's channel. I'm Annie, and aka Sweet Annie. Today, we are going to be having horsetail tea. So welcome to Tea Talk with Annie. Yes, horsetail tea is, as I don't know who knows, but it is antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, it's a diuretic. I mean, it's good for so much things. But just remember, you can't use too much of it. In other words, don't overdo, because anything overdone is just as bad as not doing it at all. So today our topic is going to be something that is near and dear to my heart, because I've been suffering with it from the time I know myself, and that is eczema. But before I start, I have a little disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor, and anything that is said today is done on what worked for me and extensive research. Before beginning any regimen, discuss with your doctor, and also do not use if you're pregnant or nursing. Thank you. So we're going to just discuss eczema. For those of you that don't know me or don't know my story, would know that when I was 5 years old, I'm just going to relay a little bit for the people that don't know. When I was 5 years old, my mom gave me something that brought out a rash all over my skin. We think that it was a vitamin that she got from the hospital that she worked at, but we cannot be sure. So what happened is that as usual, it itched like crazy. She took me to doctors after doctors, and they said that they really couldn't do anything about it, and I would have to grow out of it. And just making a long story short, it took me like years to grow out of it. I went to secondary school, and I still had these things on my skin. I had to stay home from school for a whole year. And then when I went back to school, the children laughed at me, they bullied me, they did all kinds of stuff. So hence my character changed, because I went from being a quiet person to a not so quiet person. But today I want to discuss this eczema, because for years I've learned how to control my this whole atopic dermatitis. But within the last couple of months, or say probably 2.5 months or so, I got a big flare-up. In the beginning, I thought it might have been the weather, and my skin was reacting to the weather, because it started to itch really, 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 really bad. And I changed my soap. I did all the things I know that I should do, but then I realized that this is really not just the weather, it's something more than the weather. And then when I started to research, I realized that what was happening is that my bedroom was, I live in an apartment, so my bedroom was getting a lot of moisture. And I did see something white on some of my clothes and stuff like that. but I would just dust it off because when I saw it on my shirts, I thought it was just maybe dust or something, and I just dusted it off. And then I realized that this thing started getting worse and worse, and I continued to investigate to see what it might have been. I bought the hydrocortisone and all that there from the drugstore to try to see if I can stop the itching. I took baths in the baking soda and Epsom salts and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. That would ease it. That would ease the itching and ease everything. But then I realized that when I was using the hydrocortisone, the rash seemed to be spreading. It seemed to be like getting worse. So then I said, well, maybe it is not just a normal rash. So I bought an antifungal spray to spray on it, and I was using it, and I realized it's still nothing was helping. It was still very bad, and the itching, oh my gosh, the itching was like terrible. So I just decided, okay, because probably what everybody is wondering now is, well, why didn't I go to the doctor? Well, the reason I didn't go to the doctor right away is because I was waiting for my insurance and everything to come through, and that hadn't come through yet, so I had to endure with this. So what I have been, I'm going to show y'all my skin in a minute, but y'all might have seen some pictures that I took just 3 months ago, and if you see my skin now, you would be quite shocked. So my hands, I realized that the itching and stuff like that, it itches a lot when my hands get really dry. But what I did was I changed my sheets twice a week, and I bought white sheets because I wanted things with no dye, basically. So I don't put on anything with dyes or perfumes or anything. I'm talking to you and I'm forgetting my tea, and my tea is getting cold. And my towels, I also changed all my towels to white towels, and I only use a towel maybe one for a day because I bought about 8 towels, and I use my towel one day and then I put it to wash my feet and my hands. I dab those dry with paper towel because I don't really want to use the towel all over my skin, because as you can see, my face and my body doesn't have the rash. Thank God. I really thank God for that. Another thing I really did during this time is I prayed constantly. I prayed for healing. I prayed and asked the Lord to just help me. And then after I was finished praying, I would thank Him for my healing, because sometimes we pray, and we don't thank Him for something that He has in the works. So I thank Him for my healing. That's about 3 things I just mentioned. Oh, and I also changed my soap. I try to use a soap because people will say, well, use Dove, use this. but Dove used to itch me as well, so I didn't use that. And the soap that I would use now is some goat milk soap. Some goat milk soap that I made. And well, when I say I made, you know what I'm talking about. So then what else? Yeah, so I mentioned to y'all before about the condensation that was building up in my bedroom. So when the landlord where I am, what they did was brought a dehumidifier to put in my room to reduce the humidity in the room, because mold and mildew and all those things could cause terrible flare-ups. And I took what was meant for bad and I turn it around and make it into good. In the beginning, I was crying and I said, I don't know, because I don't know what's going on, because I'm making things for my skin and this happened to me. I'm doing everything right and this happened to me. But sometimes flare-ups are out of our control. And for those of you that are suffering with serious eczema, I just want to show y'all my skin right now. And I can't show my legs, but my legs are worse than my arms. But this is my skin right now. It looks a lot better than it was, but I don't know if you can hear or feel, but it is like rough. And whenever I cream my skin, it will just suck up the moisture. I don't use lotions or anything like that, because that doesn't work for me. But I use body butters, and you can see and as I said, my legs are way worse. Look at my hands. And I just wanted to share this with my viewers because, we're family. And I just wanted to share this with you. I am going to continue to give you my updates on what is happening with my skin. I did go to the doctor. The doctor gave me some cream and recommended me to go to a dermatologist. So I'll probably go to a dermatologist and just check out and see how they would help. And, if there are any questions that my viewers would want, or anything you want to ask or anything you want to take, just write it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, because if you want to see more content and if you want to see how my skin is progressing and what I'm continuing to do, because I take baths like twice a week in baking soda and apple cider vinegar, and this calms down the itching at night, or when it gets cold. My skin still itches very, very bad. But one thing you have to remember, because this was a challenge for me, one thing you have to remember: do not scratch. Please do not scratch, because when you scratch, you make it worse. But I know that when it starts to itch and you scratch, it feels so good. It feels really soothing, but that is from the enemy, so don't scratch. And as I said, I'm going to keep y'all abreast of how I'm coming along, how my skin is coming along. But I've been going through this now. This is about over 2 months, and I just wanted to share it with you. I didn't share it before because I wanted to do it the right way, and basically that's all we have to say today for Annie's Tea Talk, because just remember the tea today is horsetail tea, and you can do your research on horsetail and see how good it is. It has silica in it, which is good for your body. And because I'm of a certain age too, I'm losing a lot of collagen. This would help with the collagen as well. It's good for your hair. I made a leave-in conditioner with horsetail in it. I do horsetail oil, infused oil, because I do my own oils. And another thing that I use on my skin is also neem. Neem is very good for your skin. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and all those things as well. It's good for eczema. So we're gonna just go through this and see how my progress goes. Okay, so you have a great day, or no, better yet, you have an awesome day, and God bless, and see you in my next video.